Hello, I'm Pat Bew, and I'm the Director of Testing at the School of Mines. Thank you for choosing to come to the School of Mines. It will be wonderful having you. While filling out the checklist from the Go to Mines homepage, you have probably run across a question as it relates to the compass placement test. Inasmuch as almost all students who come to the School of Mines have to take the compass placement test, I'd like to talk to you for just a moment about why that's so important and how we might be able to help facilitate you taking the test. The compass placement test is a computer test, as opposed to the ACT where you sat in a room probably with another 40 or 50 students. This test you can take by yourself with a proctor in the room, but most students will find themselves in a situation where they're sitting down at a computer, and that's how you'll be set up to take the test. Those tests will be largely, for most of you, math tests. And I'll explain in just a moment as to why you've been asked to take a math placement test, especially since many of you are especially bright and your ACT or SAT scores show it as much. They give us specific placement results in classes such as calculus and trigonometry, and in some cases college algebra. Since many of you have taken high school algebra 1 and 2, and many of you have also taken trigonometry and calculus, we want to know which college class is best for your math placement, and it helps us determine your math placement. As opposed to the ACT test when you took in high school, this test has no time limit. As you sit at a computer, you'll be given math problems in algebra largely and some trigonometry. There won't be any calculus problems or higher level math problems, but you will be tested especially in college algebra related math and in trigonometry. All students who have a math ACT of 25 or above, or an SAT score that's equivalent to the ACT Math 25, are asked to take this test. The reason why, of course, is because we want to make sure that we place you in as high a math class as you possibly can be. You've probably asked yourself why we require students with a Math ACT of 25 or better to take the compass test. All School of Mines students must be prepared for calculus. If you're planning on being an engineer or a scientist, calculus is in your future. Since that's a major part of your curriculum, we want you to be prepared for it, and we don't want you to be surprised by it. However, we've come to know that not all high schools teach good calculus or at the same levels of math. Not all calculus students, for example, have a trigonometry background. Some students, for example, have taken a pre-calc class that didn't have trigonometry. Other students have taken a pre-calc class that had trigonometry but no calculus. And so we want to know kind of what the placement is. And so as you consider where you're at, for some of you, for example, Calc 1 is an algebra-based class. Calc 2 is a trigonometry-based class. For many of you, it's been up to 2 years, maybe even 3 in some cases, since you've had an algebra class. So we want to make sure that you're ready for calculus and ready for the algebra required for it. At the same time, some students may not have gotten that 25. Perhaps you got a 23 or 24 on that Math ACT. And you're saying to yourself, I'm much better than that. Maybe you had a bad night before the exam. Maybe you don't test real well in those types of settings such as the ACT test. If that's a situation, students are offered the opportunity to challenge their math placement. You don't want to be in a college algebra class if you're better than that. And so we offer the opportunity for students to take the compass test so that they can place higher, hopefully at least into trigonometry and perhaps into calculus. But we want you to have that opportunity if, for example, when you were taking the Math ACT and you didn't do as well as you thought you could have, we want to make sure that that opportunity is now available to you, and so you have to take the compass test. We've been asked if you're a transfer student, if you're required to take the compass test, even if you've had college level math. Yes, unless of course you're transferring in college trigonometry. If you've taken college trigonometry, we know that you're ready for Calculus 1. If you haven't taken college trigonometry and would like to place above that because you have trigonometry skills, we invite you to take the compass test to show us and to show yourself that you're ready for calculus. Many students have also taken AP Calculus in high school. If you've taken AP Calculus and you score higher than a 3 or higher on that AP Calculus test, then you are exempt from taking the compass test. You don't have to take that. You move right into Calculus 2. We know, because the AP test is a standardized exam, that students who pass that know their trigonometry, and therefore they also, because they've taken the AP Calculus class, they know Calculus 1 and they can go into Calculus 2. And students who are taking the compass test still have the jitters as they struggle with certain problems on the compass exam, and they don't do as well as they'd like. And if that's the case, students are offered one extra opportunity to be able to take the compass exam. There's a small fee associated with that if you take it at the School of Mines or here in the state of South Dakota. If you're taking it in another state, then there may be even a higher fee associated with taking it a second time, but you are allowed one retest opportunity of taking the compass. So in quick summary, what the compass test will do for us is it tells us if you're ready for calculus or what math class that you're ready for. It also will help tell us if you have remedial needs, if you have some struggles even with algebra. We want to know that before you get enrolled in those classes. And then at the same time, we use the results from the compass test to help us determine what classes at the freshman level, especially your first semester, you can go into. For example, basic freshman chemistry requires that you have taken at least college algebra. Entry-level mechanical engineering class requires calculus, that you've been enrolled and are passing calculus. So we want to make sure that you are placed in the correct classes.